Hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'm going to show you guys how to solve a problem I saw on LeetCode. This was a medium difficulty problem, and I thought it was interesting just because there's a couple different ways you can solve it, and the solution that I came up with, and I saw a few other people had come up with, is pretty beautiful in terms of the code itself. It's very, very simple, but it's extremely fast, and it runs in O and time, which, if you're familiar with big O notation, is one of the fastest algorithms you can write. The fastest would be constant time, which is O1, but ON is about as good as it gets unless it's constant time. So I kind of wanted to go over the code, how it works, and why it works. So I'm just going to go ahead and write this out, and then we'll go through and kind of explain why it works. So just create a function here called detect duplicates. Now this is for an array of integers. This is not for strings or anything like that. This is for detecting duplicates in a integer array. So we'll just create a function like that that takes an input array. And then we're going to make two new arrays here. One of them will be a Boolean list, and the other one will be an empty array just for storing our duplicates. So let's go ahead and make the Boolean list first, and I'll kind of explain why we're doing this in a minute here, but we're just going to call this SceneList, and that's going to be initialized with all false values. So it's a Boolean list of false values, and it's going to have the size of the highest number in our input array. So if our highest number is 20, it's going to contain 20 false elements, basically. And then we're just going to make our empty array here that'll contain our duplicates that we will return at the end of the function, or not return, we'll print it. So then we're going to iterate our input array. So for each number in our input array, we are going to do a very simple check, and that is if our SceneList at index n-1, because arrays are zero-based indexing, if our SceneList at index n-1 is false, which it should be the first time it sees the number, because these are all false, we're just going to set SceneList at that index to true. So this is very simple. All we're doing is we're checking if the value is false at this index, which it will be if that's the first time the number's been seen, and then we're going to set it to true. Otherwise, we know we have a duplicate, and we can just append that value to our duplicates array, and then we can just print our duplicates. And that's it. That's the entire function. So let me go ahead and just demonstrate first that this does actually work. So we will just run our detect duplicates function here, and we'll give it an input array. So just an easy one, so it should detect that 4 is a duplicate. And then let's run it. And you can see it returns 4. And then let's just add another one here. So let's add 2 as a duplicate. So now we've got 2 and 4 returned as our duplicates. So how does this work? Why does it work? It's actually quite simple. And this runs in this runs in ON time, as I mentioned before, because all we're doing is iterating our input array, and that takes ON time because it's just for each element. So if there were 5 elements in the array, it would take 05, but that doesn't matter. And accessing a specific index of an array is constant time, so we just have ON times constant time, which is just ON. So this is a very, very fast algorithm, and it works simply like this. So here is what our SceneList looks like when we initialize it. It's just all values of false, yada yada yada, all the way up until the max of our input array, like that. So as we run through our input array, we'll check to see if in our scene list the value that we're inputting, so let's start at 1. So we're going to go to index 1 minus 1, which is 0, the first index of our array. And that is false because this is the first time we've seen our 1, and then we just set that to true. So then we'll hop to our next number, which is 2. So we're going to go to index 2 minus 1, which is 1, and that's false, but we've now seen a 2, so we're going to set that to true. But now we've got another 2, so we're going to also go back to 2 minus 1, which is 1, and we see that that's already set to true. So we know that we've seen that number already, so this condition will fail, and we'll go to our else condition, which knows that it's a duplicate, and we'll just add that to our array. And that's all that it's doing. It's just going to go through each one of these, and same thing for 4. The first time we see 4, it's going to go to 3 here, and then the next time we see 4, it's going to go back there, see that it's true, this condition will fail, and then it'll output that as a duplicate. So that's how it works. Hope you guys enjoyed, thought that was useful, informational. Have a good one.